Ladies and gentlemen, it's a big, weird, wild world out there, folks, and here we stand, al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob, that's Dan, and you're listening to
The ProBoh Show!
Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome. It's Tuesday. How you doing in there, Dan? A little stressed, I think.
No, I'm doing fine.
Yeah, I see we're recording. Yeah, we're having technical issues again. Womp, womp, womp. How are you? Are you a little less stressed today, Daniel? You seemed quite stressed yesterday because of the metro.
No, I'm less stressed today.
Okay, good. I'm happy about that. You know, the lady said she's buying me a face mask. It's made me paranoid that I'm that I'm a little bit old looking, Dan. You know why I think it is? Because this weekend I've got like this body lotion at home. I didn't buy it. Okay, you know the compre. Not that I'm kind of against men moisturizing. I don't want to kind of alienate any listeners. But I've got this body lotion that I apply to my face on occasion when I notice a wrinkle or two. And she was in shock. She says, "That's not for your face." I'm like, since when is your face not part of your body? You know the difference between face lotion and body lotion, Dan?
No.
The spelling. ¿Cómo se escribe? Anyway, if there are any actual differences, you guys can tell me in the chat. Oh my God, there is a lot of you here this morning. Good morning, everyone. A lot of you here and only a few of you writing. Why is that? Let's see what people are saying. We've got Vero here who says, "Good morning, beautiful bohemians around the universe and beyond." Good morning to you, Vero, first in the audience today. The Bridge is here. Good morning, my beautiful Bonnie Bouncy bohemians and Bonnie Bouncy Bob and darling dashing Dandy Dan Dan, the radio man. Let's get crushing. Dan, that special sound effect I prepared for you. You haven't got it, have you?
No.
I prepare things for him with love. And he doesn't.
But you sent it through WhatsApp.
I did send it through WhatsApp, to be fair. Let's see. We've got Eugene here joining us all the way from Russia. How you doing? The Bridge says technical issues. Me sorprendes. Yeah, every day there is a new. And then people ask, why do you guys get in at 7 when the show starts at 8:30?
The day the PC stopped working is the day the radio is going.
Yeah. The radio is run on 2 PCs that are older than Dan. And I'm not even kidding. Anyway, let's see. Good morning, Bohemian, says BTI. Good morning. Bridge says the difference between face lotion and body lotion is the price. Yeah, I'm sure that's true as well. Carmen's here. Good morning, dear Bohemians. And Gemma, good morning, Bohemians friends. Amigos. Ahí en el mundo analógico. In the analog radio world. If you want to be as cool, as sexy, as charming, as beautiful, as handsome, as influential, as intellectual as our amazing live audience, well, you can join them too. It's very simple. Join us on twitch.tv/professional bohemian. That's twitch.tv/professional bohemian. You can also join us live, or you can interact with the show, outside of our lifetimes. You can do that on my Instagram, which is Bohemio Profesional, pero en inglés. But professional, @professional bohemian. Or if you're extra specially sexy, of course, you can join me on my Patreon, where you get all the links to the news that I use, as well as the VODs, etc. All right, I guess we should get into some news. Nibbleable, says the Bridge. Yeah, I haven't done the nibble of the ear bit in a while, because I worry it's overly sexual for the audience, Dan. And me, looking like an emoji. Yeah, we've said this before. The difference between charming and creepy is how good looking you are. Right? And I'm sure if I say things like that, I come across as creepy. Anyway, let's continue, shall we? Should we get into some news? Would you like to know about a long life or the World Cup, Dan?
What was the second option?
The World Cup. El Mundial.
A long wife?
A long life, not a long wife.
That was
Una esposa larga. Come on, dude.
The World Cup.
Which would you prefer here?
The World Cup.
The World Cup. Okay. This is coming from Newsweek today, 2026. Long life, Dan.
That's
Vida.
why I was having notes about what you said.
Oh, bless him. Yeah, he's having a stressful morning, to be fair. All right. The 2026 World Cup is at risk of being a colossal dud. You know what dud means, Dan? D-U-D?
No.
Es que como un fracaso. Un fracaso, a colossal dud es un fracaso monumental. El Mundial de 2026 corre el riesgo, how do you pronounce that word properly, Dan?
Riesgo.
Thank you. I knew that. Damn it. De ser un fracaso monumental. The 2026 FIFA World Cup was supposed to be a triumph for the United States. Sorry about that. With FIFA projecting a $30 billion economic boost for the country and host cities preparing for a wave of international visitors. Instead, just a month before kickoff, the outlook appears far less certain. Newsweek reports that many tickets remain unsold. Resale prices for several matches are falling, and hotel bookings in a number of host cities are running below expectations. While FIFA has promoted the tournament as a landmark moment for soccer and tourism in America, the early numbers suggest demand may not match the hype. Why do you think people don't want to see the World Cup live this year, Dan?
Because it's on the United States.
Because it's in the United States. But what is it particularly about the United States?
Everything.
You can say his name, Dan.
Trump, ice.
Trump, ice. Yeah, wow. Yeah, come on.
Racism.
If you're a Spanish speaker going to the States right now, I hope you're there enough time to to see a match. Yeah, well, there are several reasons, not just Donald Trump. Well, in fact, they're all Donald Trump related, aren't they? If ticket prices are higher than to get a plane, if a plane ticket is higher than you expect, well, that's because of the rising oil prices, and you can draw a direct line to Donald Trump with that as well, can't you? The article points to several reasons for the softer interest. One thing not Trump-related is the extortionate price of the tickets. My God. High ticket prices, visa barriers, rising travel costs, and wider concerns among international travelers about visiting the US under Donald Trump. Hotel groups in cities such as New York say the expected boom has not materialized, though places like Atlanta are more optimistic about a late surge. Broader takeaway is that the World Cup will fail, but is not that the World Cup will fail, my apologies, but that its economic payoff may fall way short of bold promises made by FIFA and tourism boosters. Even with full stadiums still possible, the surrounding travel and hospitality windfall now looks much less certain. You know, I mean, is FIFA's main concern now really even football, Dan? Is it not peace prizes? Anyway, so there you go. If you're looking forward to the World Cup, it is still taking place, but falling way below expected demand. All right. And now we'll get into the long wife, Dan. La esposa larga. No, long life. This is coming from Science Alert. One critical factor predicts longevity. Longevidad. Better than diet or exercise. What do you think it is, Dan?
Something that's better than...
Yeah, that predicts a long life, longevity.
Some kind of food.
Is it some kind of a food? Well, it's nothing to do with diet or exercise.
Okay. I don't know.
Sleep, Daniel.
Well, I was going to say a three-letter word, so...
Un estudio revela que un factor clave predice la longevidad mejor que la dieta o el ejercicio. A recent study suggests that sleep may be a stronger predictor of longevity than diet or exercise. Researchers at Oregon Health and Science University analyzed U.S. survey data from 2019 to 2025 and found that sleeping less than 7 hours a night was strongly associated with lower life expectancy, even after accounting for factors like physical activity, employment status, and education. Only smoking showed a stronger link. While the study is observational and cannot prove that insufficient sleep directly shortens life, it reinforces the idea that sleep is a major marker of long-term health. There you have it, Dan. How many hours do you get a night?
6.
6, yeah. I got 4 last night. I am quite tired. But, you know, I did my typical of sitting on the sofa. I thought I'll watch some TV. At 6 o'clock, I passed out for 2 hours. And then I couldn't sleep all night. Wop, wop, wow. The findings also highlight how deeply sleep affects overall well-being, with poor sleep linked to problems involving brain function, immune health, obesity, and diabetes. Researcher Andrew McHill said the results were striking and emphasized that people should aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep whenever possible. Dude, for me, I would have to go to bed at 8 p.m. to get enough sleep. You know? Impossible. Especially here in Spain, where the sun is out and blazing still at that time. Anyway, so between 7 and 9 hours. How long do you sleep on a weekend, dude?
Well, until I wake up, I mean, I don't have a strict hour, so...
No, but you sleep, what, 10 hours, 11
Maybe.
hours, 12 hours?
9, 10 hours.
9, 10 hours, you hibernate over the weekends. Yeah, I aim for that too. I never do it. Usually around 8 hours. And let's see what people are saying here. We used to say, where are we? We used to say as if it was cool, I'll sleep when I die. Now I value sleeping more than anything. Sleep, guys, says Carmen. Yeah, me too, dude. There is a massive difference between 6 hours and 4 hours. Holy cow. I am really struggling this morning. Vero says, I normally sleep between 6 and 8 hours per night. I don't know if I will live long. Well, look, 8 hours I think is perfect, isn't it? 8 hours is perfect. But when you've got a job like mine and Dan's and you're here at 7. I mean, I set off from home, Daniel. I set off from home at 6 in the morning. So I have to wake up at 5 if I'm to properly walk my dogs, feed them, things like that. Yeah, I need to go to bed earlier. That's the moral of the story. And that's the moral of the story for all of us, I think. So, yeah, it can affect overall well-being linked to immune health, obesity, and diabetes. So well worth bearing in mind. The broader message is that sleep deserves to be treated as a core health priority alongside nutrition and exercise. Practical changes such as cutting back on doom scrolling before bed. Daniel, do you doom scroll before you go to bed?
I don't scroll all the time.
Okay. Well, the lady, she engages in doom scrolling before bed. It's not good, dude. It's not good. Come on. No doom scrolling unless, of course, you're on the Professional Bohemian Instagram. Some great videos to entertain you all, friends. That's not doom scrolling, Dan. It's micro-learning. Come on. Anyway, the broader message is that sleep deserves to be treated as a high priority. Practical changes, such as cutting back doom scrolling before bed or adding relaxing activities like yoga, tai chi, may help improve sleep habits over time. You're laughing, Dan?
I'm not gonna do yoga before sleeping, I mean.
Yeah, the lady does yoga as well. See, there you go. That's how she counteracts the doom scrolling. Have you ever tried yoga?
No, and I won't.
No?
No.
Are you too self-conscious? I'm surprised yoga is as big here in Spain as it is. Because sois tan avergonzados. It's so kind of shameful. The idea that you just stood there, kind of striking a pose. No, as I advance in age, Dan, I'm more and more willing to try new things. Yeah. Let's see. Gigi Pons is with us. How are you doing? Good morning here in the chat. On that note, friends, we should move on to today's unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
All Alrighty, folks, we are in unpopular opinion territory. We have an interesting one for you today. We are scratching the surface of our psychological topics today. Today's unpopular opinion is people prefer familiar pain over unfamiliar possibilities. La gente prefiere el dolor conocido a una posibilidad desconocida. People prefer familiar pain over unfamiliar possibilities. Interesting. How do you think they voted on Instagram, Dan?
True.
You think they voted true? They did vote true. 87% of people voted true. Yeah, is this the main reason people stay in unhealthy relationships, stay in jobs where they don't feel rewarded or fulfilled? Or is it something else? If we scratch the surface, do we get more surface? Or do we reveal a deeper truth? Well, they did vote true. Where are you on this one, Dan?
I think it's true as well.
You think it's true as well? People just prefer to be in pain. I might suggest that everyone zooms out a little bit in their thinking. I'll get to that in a little bit. But first of all, we will, of course, because the true side won, 87% of people voted true on Instagram. We'll dive into those opinions first. So people prefer familiar pain over unfamiliar possibility. La gente prefiere el dolor conocido a una posibilidad desconocida. Here we go. Predictability feels safer than uncertainty. Even painful situations can feel psychologically comfortable because they're known. Uncertainty triggers anxiety, so people cling to familiar patterns. One thing that I learned through my therapy is the patterns that I was engaged in. Preferring, familiar pain, familiar toxic traits to more healthier ones. A pattern that I have come to break thanks to that therapy. Yeah, it's strange how we fall into patterns and we find comfort in unpleasant acts because they remind us of our past. The brain is risk averse. Humans evolved to prioritize survival over fulfillment. Familiar pain is easier to manage than unknown outcomes. And we have evolved to prioritize survival over fulfillment. Familiar pain is easier to manage than unknown outcomes. We even have, Dan, an idiom in the English language for this. Better the devil you know. Mejor el diablo conocido. Better the devil you know. You know? Why risk it? You're in a bad situation. It could get worse. Jeez Louise. We Brits. We're a pessimistic bunch. Toxic cycles become normalized. People often stay in unhealthy jobs, relationships, or habits because of the discomfort. It's understood and predictable. I think we underestimate the power of predictability in our mental well-being, right? We just think, well, okay, this is not good, but if I stay here, at least I know what tomorrow brings, right? At least this is a predictable situation. Identity gets attached to suffering. Here's an interesting one. Long-term pain can become part of someone's self-concept, making change feel like a threat to identity itself. Long-term pain can become a part of someone's self-concept. You know these people, Dan. We've all met them. Oh my God, my back hurts. This is so... Everyone's against me. Everyone's against me. Everyone's pulling for my failure, and look at me, poor victim me. Right? We all know people like that. Why are you laughing, Dad?
Because that's you.
What do you mean that's me? I never...
Every day
Yeah.
you come here and say, wow, I didn't sleep well last night. Every single day.
I would love to argue with you, Dan. But the facts do not bear out. You know, tomorrow I'm going to get a good night's sleep. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, wow, I slept so well last night. And it's not every day. I have a treasure trove of podcasts to say different, Daniel, young man. Oh, you remember when he was too shy to speak on the radio? I miss those days. How are you doing, Dan? Fine. Bless it. Give yourself a ProBoh approved, Dan. Every day.
ProBoh approved.
Every day I like him more. Much to my chagrin. Every day I enjoy his contributions more. Anyway, let's continue. Possibility requires vulnerability. Pursuing something new means risking rejection, failure, or disappointment. Familiar pain avoids those risks. Yeah, of course, you may be in a bad situation now. We have another phrase, another frase hecha. Out of the frying pan, into the fire. Saltamos del sartén al fuego. You know? I mean, it's so ingrained in our psyche. The idea that familiar pain is better than the unknown. But is there another side to this? Is there more? When we scratch the surface, do we perhaps get to a deeper truth? Well, let's see, shall we? 13% of the people out there on Instagram voted false. That people do not prefer familiar pain over unfamiliar possibilities. So let's have a look. People are naturally drawn towards possibility. Curiosity drives human progress. Yeah, I can see poor Dan there worried about the peaking audio. Don't worry, Dan. We'll fix it. Yeah, we are recording on a completely different computer. So people are naturally drawn towards possibility. Curiosity drives human progress. Exploration, innovation, and ambition all depend on people willingly stepping into uncertainty. Where's the World Cup held this year, Dan? It's held in the United States. An amount of exploration needed for we European settlers to get there, right? That wasn't people just settling at home. That wasn't Puritans in England saying, oh, you know what, I'll just stay here. It's people packing up and embracing uncertainty and change. Scientific discovery. If you feel like people are stuck in the same old cycle, zoom out, because human history is full, or human progress is full, replete with people doing the exact opposite, drawn towards possibility, exploration. Many people actively seek change, career shifts, travel, creative pursuits, and personal reinvention show that humans often pursue unfamiliar possibilities despite fear. Another great frase hecha, feel the fear and do it anyway. Pain itself motivates escape. When suffering becomes intense enough, people frequently take risks they once avoided. Yeah. Look, I mean, it's easy for us to say, right? People prefer pain over new experiences, over the possibility of what might happen, if it might be worse. But again, look at your own life, analyze it properly. I think the familiar sting of negativity bias here, where we see ourselves, we see ourselves constantly drawn towards the darker side of the coin, but in reality, again, not just in history, probably in your own life, people getting out of toxic relationships, making massive swings towards new careers, opening businesses. Yeah, it's a lot more common than I think we want to let ourselves admit. Growth requires adaptation. Humans are highly adaptable. While uncertainty is uncomfortable initially, many people eventually embrace it. And the final point here, in the con column, where only 13% of people voted, the statement can overgeneralize fear. What statement? Well, the statement that is our unpopular opinion, people prefer pain over unfamiliar possibility. The statement can overgeneralize fear. Not all hesitation is a rational attachment to pain. Sometimes caution is wisdom. Quite right. I mean, if you are in an unfamiliar or, if you are approaching unfamiliar territory, isn't caution just wisdom sometimes? Don't we need to prepare before making a big leap? Is that irrational avoidance of new possibilities, or is that simply forward planning? Goes hand in hand with actually tomorrow's unpopular opinion with regards to overthinking. A phrase I think we throw around way too much nowadays. Okay, so I see a lot of interesting comments here in the chat. I will get to those as soon as we come back from the commercial break. Today's unpopular opinion is people prefer familiar pain over unfamiliar possibilities. La gente prefiere el dolor conocido a una posibilidad desconocida. I will post a poll in the chat, una encuesta, and you will vote true or false. Let's see if we can come to some kind of consensus today. And I will remind you about the 2nd of June. Dan, you know what's happening on the 2nd of June?
Born Trivia Night.
Born Trivia Night. Pow, 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 pow. Are you going to go?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't believe you. That was definitely a yes that smelt of no to me. Well, I'm going to go, Dan. 8 p.m. Toast Taproom Malasaña, Calle San Vicente Ferrer, to join my friend and yours, Alberto Alonso, at the Vaughan Radio Trivia Night. And finally, don't forget that number, the most important number you're going to call today, 91133-5833. Speak to a Vaughan representative and find out how we can level up your language learning. Friends, I'll see you in just a few minutes. Hey guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind the scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @ProBoh, PROBOH. Okay, on with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. You're joining us live at 9 a.m. Central European Time. Of course, it's me and Dan. Don't go anywhere after us. You've got our beloved Fitz with No Excuses. It is Tuesday, right? Yeah, no excuses. Iberians tomorrow. All right. Shall we dig into to today's topics? If you've just tuned in, what did you miss? We spoke about the World Cup and how it's kind of at risk of being a massive dud, un fracaso monumental.
I was thinking about it.
Okay.
And I also think that there are two other facts to take in account.
Okay.
The first one is that it's the first time that it's not just in one country, it's in three.
Yeah.
And they are really big countries. So its stadium is very far away from the other.
And of course, to travel from one game to another, you're talking about airfare and the price of fuel has gone through the roof. Yeah.
And I think that influences it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is that they are with less skill than other years.
With less skill than other years?
Son equipos menos potentes.
Really, you think?
I think so, yes.
And
there's less quality.
There's less quality?
I think so, yes.
In the Spanish team as well? Yeah, you're nodding your head.
Think so.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that's happened? Okay, look, I have to admit, Dan, I know nothing about football. And this is the first time I've heard anyone say, the teams are rubbish this year. So you're demonstrating a knowledge of football right now. It's surprising.
I don't have a very large knowledge of football, but
yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, but why is that? Why do you think?
Now you hear people talk about football like they talked 10 years ago.
Okay. So are we talking about here not the declining skill of the teams?
No, but also
both
of them.
Because I do think football is kind of going through a decline in interest. I don't think younger generations are as fanatical about football as they used to be. And when I was a kid, my grandfather and uncles tried so hard to motivate me to follow the local team. I went to a match. Incredibly bored through the whole thing. Never been the kind of person who's been able to sit down and exclusively watch a soccer game. I find it incredibly boring. But that's just me, and that's not me poo-pooing. I don't want to yuck your yum. No quiero... Yeah, I don't know how you would even translate that. mostrar mi asco a algo que es delicioso para vosotros. I don't want to yuck your yum when it comes to football, obviously. But yeah, there is a certain, or at least it seems to me, that I don't hear the fervor around football that I used to. Several potential reasons for that. I mean, FIFA has been quite a controversial organization. I don't think that's it, though. Yeah, I think in England at least, going to watch the football was so closely tied to drinking, going to the pub, right? That I think perhaps as younger people have moved away from that activity, then perhaps the fervor and desire to watch football is reduced. Certainly it may be part of the issue. What the hell do we know? We're not experts in football. And then another critical factor in longevity, if you missed this one, interesting, from Science Alert. With regards to a study researchers at the Oregon Health and Science University conducted, saying that sleep may actually be a more crucial factor in predicting a long life, longevity. Longevity. Oh, Dan, go on, tell it. Say it. Longevidad. You know, my problem is, Dan, I try and read every word. Longevidad. Okay, thank you. All right. And then we moved into today's unpopular opinion, scratching the surface of, of course, of some psychology today. Why the hell not? All right. Let's have a look. Let's go straight into some of your comments. Some amazing comments here in the chat today. Thank you all for turning up. Quite a big audience today. Vero says, true, familiar pain is easier to deal with. I think it feels easier, but in reality, I think maybe taking a jump into the unknown can quite often reduce pain, can't it? I mean, of course, there are 1,000 idioms. Out of the frying pan, into the fire. Better the devil you know. Do you have a similar one in Spanish, Dan?
Mejor lo malo conocido que lo bueno por conocer.
Oh, que lo bueno por conocer.
The one of the into the fire with the air.
Yeah, out of the frying pan.
Out of the frying pan into the fire.
Yeah.
We don't have one for that.
You don't have one for that. Okay. I mean, yeah, and I think pretty much every Western culture has an idiom that says the same, right? Better stay in the position that you're in. God forbid you might take a risk and improve your life. Jeezy Louise. I mean, look, this is why we're kind of challenging this common wisdom today, isn't it? Because quite often taking a little bit of a risk can be to your own benefit, can't it? Bridge says, yes, especially here in Spain, there is such an aversion to change. And Bridge also says, I am not that way. Yeah, I mean, look, up until recently, I guess in the last 10 years, I kind of changed to become more risk averse. But in my youth, I mean, look, hell, I moved to a foreign country, not speaking the language. And look at me now, 20 years later. I still don't speak the language. The weird thing is, Dan, when people meet me outside the radio, they say, hey, but you speak Spanish. I'm like, yeah, I speak my comfort Spanish, right? I can survive a normal barroom conversation. Anyway, let's continue. Gigi Pons, or Gigi, says, I once read biology wants us to stay safe and stick to the familiar, even when it hurts. It's much more energy efficient for our brains to follow a pattern. But I've always been the opposite. I actually get energy from the unknown. Moves, new jobs, fresh starts. I guess my brain just works a bit different. But does it though? Are you following a pattern of humanity that's been in existence since the dawn of civilization, right? We humans, we tend to think of ourselves as risk averse. But think about every bit of scientific knowledge. Think about what it took, the bravery it took to draw the maps we use on a day-to-day basis today. I mean, of course, now the maps are done using satellites. But back in the day, mapping coasts, travel, exploration, scientific endeavor all relies on the human spirit that idea that we want to know. We don't want to live in darkness. Scientific pursuit flies in the face of the idea that we will that we want to settle for the known rather than the unknown, right? That we want to explore the unknown rather than settle for the known. Con is with us. How are you doing, Con? Thank you for posting the poll today, by the way. Carmen says, here we go. Más vale malo conocido que bueno por conocer. Thank you. I was writing exactly that, Gemma says to Carmen. De Guatemala a Guatapeor. Can we get the bridge, please? Nivelazo.
Vaya nivelazo.
De Guatemala, obviously. The end of the word there, mala, for our international listeners, means bad. Que esto es mal. A Guatapeor, which is peor meaning worse. Oh, I hate to have to explain jokes, but we do have quite a strong international listenership. Gigi says, once you take a risk and see something bad happens, then you are more open to taking risks in the future. Yeah, the more you survive poor decisions, the less risk averse you become, I think. You know? I don't know. I feel like today we all of us are suffering from this fear of, I don't know, fear of exploration, fear of getting hurt, fear of encountering even opinions that may be contrary to what we believe ourselves. Oh my God, please don't say something I don't agree with. Tell me where the opinion hurt. Of course, this show is the exact opposite of that. I encourage you and invite you to come on here and express opinions that people may not necessarily agree with. Critical thinking, folks. Let's dig in. Carmen here says, our brain chooses what's familiar over what's healthy, just because it only knows how to react and behave in familiar environments. It's been wired in a certain way. Otherwise, it requires an effort for it to create new neuronal paths. But it doesn't mean it can't. That's what neuroscience says. All right, so there you have it. I did get some interesting comments on Instagram as well with regards to today's unpopular opinion. Adrian Valesco says, that feels true. A lot of people stay in situations they hate because at least it's predictable. Yeah. It takes my mind back to that Chinese curse, Dan. May you live in interesting times. Que espero que vives en tiempos o en una época interesante. And it's interesting, right? Because interesting in itself doesn't sound like a negative thing. It almost sounds like a blessing, doesn't it? Oh, I hope you live in interesting times. But of course, it relies on our knowledge that, you know, what is interesting is often what is unknown. You know, a blessing might be, may you live in predictable times. I mean, we are certainly living in a time of immense upheaval now, right? We see AI impacting the job market, global or geopolitical instability, rising prices, cost of living is through the roof, stagnating wages, and everyone is freaking out. Yeah, interesting times, right? Don't we all crave a little bit of that predictability? Fiona Mercer says, fear of the unknown is powerful. Familiar pain can feel safer than risking disappointment. But yeah, I mean, I think if we look more macroscopically, I think at this, like we take a wider lens to this and we think about all the advances we've made. And not just terrestrially. Look, we've explored at least our closest celestial neighbors, the moon, right? So yeah, there is definitely more to this picture than just, familiar good, unfamiliar bad, I think, right? And also, you know, and I'm not just talking about here the potential benefits of risking the unknown, but overcoming adversity. Kind of taking yourself from a situation that is painful and jumping into the unknown and potentially reaping a reward for that effort is immensely satisfying, isn't it? Immensely satisfying. I mean, look, if you've listened to this show for any amount of time, you know my difficulties with alcohol, my jump into higher education that seemed so unlikely, but I made it. Then to jump from education into a field that was definitely not my own, theatre. You know, all those risks, even though I live quite a stable life now, all those risks went towards building the life that I have now. And not to any small degree, the confidence that I have now. I mean, look, confidence doesn't come from screaming affirmations into a mirror. Oh, you're so beautiful, you're a good person, strong. No. Confidence comes from having a list of achievements that are impossible to deny to you, even yourself. And the longer that list, the more confident you become. I think when that list gets too big, maybe that's where arrogance starts to creep its ugly head in, right? Marek says, comfort zones aren't always comfortable. They're just familiar. Yeah, interesting. Is that what we're talking about today? Zona de confort? The comfort zone? Possibly. Yeah, interesting. Thank you, Marek. And Yasmin de la Croix. Wow, great name, my God. I think people choose certainty over possibility more often than they realize. Do they, though? Or is that a negativity bias on mine and your part, Yasmin? Because I can name hundreds of times where people have done the exact opposite in relationships that they find unrewarding or even, toxic. Something I think we've all lived at some point, right? Eventually pulling the trigger, maybe too late, but still, the longer you're in the relationship, the more difficult it is to leave, right? So when you eventually do, it makes the impact of that effort even more impressive for me. Interesting. Guys, you're on fire today, by the way. All right, should we get to the results of the poll, Daniel? I think we should. This is from the bridge here. She says, that's what I really like about this show. Happily annoying people. Yeah. All right, shall we get to it? I made a statement. People prefer familiar pain over unfamiliar possibilities. La gente prefiere el dolor conocido a una posibilidad desconocida. And you guys said 67% true. Okay, there you go. 67% true. Have we shifted your needle at all, Daniel?
No, because I thought it was true. So
yeah, I've got to admit, I think it's true as well. It's a sad realization, but it is. I think we would all kind of benefit from being less risk averse. I'm pretty sure Richard Vaughan would appreciate that as well. I mean, you can always point to people who are less risk averse, right? These entrepreneurs, emprendedores in the world who, stake everything on a business idea. People leaving painful relationships, people moving to other countries, other cities, just jumping into the unknown. But I think it's easier to point out those because they are the exception rather than the rule, aren't they? And deep down, I think we all envy those people for their bravery. Because most of us, and myself included, we are quite risk averse. We do prefer familiar pain quite often over unfamiliar possibility. But you know what Grandpa Bo would say about that, right? He would say, Rob, that's just your opinion. And opinions, they're like buttholes. Everyone has one. They all stink, including mine. Let's move on to today's 100 Humans. Oh my God. It was a long walk to work today across snow-capped mountains and through river valleys, and on that walk I encountered 100 humans and I asked them all a question. Today's question was, name something people find hard to leave. Nombra algo que la gente le cuesta dejar. They find hard, le cuesta dejar. They find it hard to leave. I asked them that question. They gave me their answers. I'm in possession of the top 7 answers. Your job in the audience is to identify those top 7 answers. A lot of you interacted on Instagram. I will thank you for that. Carlos, Fenokitty, Africa, Pedro, MP Contel, Carmen, Ivan Samrov, Anna Kasan, Noel, Emily, Juana Reo, Ivan GP, and many, many others. Thank you. We need that countdown timer, Dan. All right, go on, Dan. Name something that people find hard to leave.
Cults.
A cult? Wow. How do you say cult in Spanish, Dan?
Secta.
Secta, well done. Is a cult there? No, it's not, but geez Louise, Dan. It's a great answer, dude. Talk about familiar pain over unfamiliar possibilities, dude. Yeah, nice. I like that. Cult, well done. All right, let's see what people are saying. Vero says tobacco, alcohol. Yeah, she says tobacco and alcohol. Vero says, she also says drugs. Basically, everything you've mentioned is a drug. Is addiction, una adicción, is addiction there? Yes, it is. Well done. 8 of 100 humans said an addiction. It is the 5th most popular answer. Well done. Their house, says the bridge. Something they find hard to leave. I can't give you that one. Oh, actually, no. If we're talking about, moving to another... Yeah, go on, and let's give it to her. Sorry, Dan. Yeah. El hogar, home, right? It can be difficult to leave even for the weekend if your name is Rob Grams. Yeah, home is there. Well done, Bridge. Home is there. 8 of 100 humans, 4th most popular answer. Let's dive back into our friends in the audience. A relationship. Is a relationship. Una relación. Is that there? Yes, it is. Well done. And Bridge with 30 of 100 humans. It's the number one answer. Wow. Look, you guys, you've already identified 3 of the 7. 4 more to go. GG says job. A job. Yeah, I think Bridge here agrees with GG on this one. A job. Is a job there? Un trabajo. Yes, it is. Ole. 28 of 100 humans, the number 2 answer. I don't think that's because of the comfort level, though. I think that's because here, at least in Spain, people want their indemnización. No, they're going to fire me so they can pay me. Stop it, Dan. Let's continue. All right. Gigi also says friends, which I put that in the relationship category. Someone actually said one of the answers. One of our, I think it was one of our Instagram people, yes they did, who was called Marek. If you can think back to Marek's comment, he said the number 3 answer. Not an actual place, more a concept. Oof. Yeah, let's see if you can get that one. Yeah, here we go. Emily says kids, parties, and bed. La cama. Something that's hard to leave, especially at 5 a.m. I can speak from experience. Is bed there? Yes, it is. Well done. Bed, la cama. 8 of 100 humans again. It was the 6th most popular answer. Well done. Bridge says religious beliefs. Yeah, I think we kind of covered that with cult, didn't we? At the risk of getting another death threat. There is a difference between cult and religions, I think. Anyway. Let's go through some of our answers here on Instagram. Carlos says drugs. Fenokitty says an interesting one here. A country, your country. Something people find interesting to leave. I am so tempted to give you this answer. Zoom in a little bit from country. You get to county, maybe. Zoom in from county. You get to your city. If a city is very small, it is a what? The city or town of your birth. What do we call it? Something that's difficult to leave. Anyway. Africa says, right now I'm eating ruffles de jamón with a bit of shame, so addictions are hard to leave. Yeah. It's funny you should mention that. I was eating jamón ruffles last night. Toxic friends, says Pedro. Jobs. Failed toxic relationships, says MP Contel. Toxic partner, a lot of people saying that. A lot of people saying smoking as well. Their home to move somewhere else. Gigi also says hometown. Is hometown the thing that I was looking for? To Ciudad Natal? Yes, it is. Well done, Gigi and Vero. Hometown is their 7th most popular answer. Just one. This is a zone, to kind of give you half the answer, that you feel comfortable in. What's the answer, Dan?
I don't know.
Come on. What's the answer?
I don't think it's fair. Comfort zone.
You just don't want people to win, Daniel. Is comfort zona de confort? Is it there? Yes, it is. Well done. I know, Dan. I know. You know, me regaña. He tells me off when I get back into the room. He says, you make it too easy.
Regalamos los aplausos.
Oh, look at me. I'm just a kind man. Look, Dan, I want everyone to be a winner. Is comfort zone there yet? Of course it is. All right, guys, you completed today's 100 humans. Let's see. It's a short week this week, Dan. I think we can prompt people into completing the 100 humans all week this week. All right, here we go. I asked 100 humans, nombra algo que la gente le cuesta dejar. Name something people find hard to leave. In position number, we had their hometown, su ciudad natal. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it, to leave your family and friends and everything you know and feel comfortable with to move to another town. In position number, if you wake up like me at 5 a.m., la cama, the bed. In position number, we had addiction. Addiction is hard to leave, sadly. In position number, we had home, el hogar, especially in the weekend, you know. If you're like me and are averse to socializing or being outside, just staying at home playing a video game, come on. In position number 3, we had the comfort zone, la zona de confort. In position number 2, with 28 of 100 humans, a job, un trabajo. 28 of 100 humans said that one. And finally, in position number 1, with 30 of 100 humans, we had a relationship. Well done, well done. Una relación. Dan, your first answer, a cult. It was a good one. Look, I'm no shame from me, sir. All right, guys, look, we have to go for today, but I'll be back this afternoon at 1:30 with Andrea and the Lunchtime Show, so do join me for that. Don't forget the Vaughan Radio Trivia Night coming up in June, the 2nd of June. It'll be here in no time. Jeez, time is flying, isn't it? It's at 8 p.m. Toast Taproom, Malasaña, Calle San Vicente Ferrer. 8 p.m. with 2nd of June with Alberto Alonso, the man, the myth, the legend. My favourite trivia nights, Dan. My favourite trivia nights are Alberto's. So I hope to see you there, guys. I'll see you next time.